Right, well, hello people. Welcome to Small Village Wizard. I haven't posted for a while, and I sit here knowing that I need to move. Anyway, he's the star of the show. Tiddle's doing what he does best, just hanging around. And what I thought I'd do is just give you a quick update on how things are in the garden as the rewilding has happened. Now, I need a hat, and I can't find one. Anyway. That's alright. So I'll start off with that. Those are the roses. And they have produced like that pretty much the whole summer. Now, last year I just let these grow. The year before we cut them back real hard. And they've just come away and they've flowered and flowered and flowered. And what I do is just tend to let the flowers do their thing, and then I take the rose, the hip, off the flowers once they have gone. So I will pick those anyway. So as you can see, the yarrow and the other flowers continue to go nuts, and it's really bringing in the bees. These are just about to flower up and they'll go white, which will be really, really good. Now, as you can see, the path has been mowed. Anyway, so there has been a bit of progress. Purdycala, gifted to me by the lovely Linda, and made the decision to just get it in the ground, and that's a Ko-Fi, and it came to me looking that scratchy and unloved, and that will be about to go into the ground as well. Next thing is that is a insect hotel that is currently being constructed, and so that came to me as a Christmas gift from the lovely KV. Now the sad thing is, if you look a little bit closer, my sage has been absolutely hammered, and I'm not sure why. Clearly there's something getting into that, so I will work out what's going on there and get in and give that a bit of love. Now, as for this Granny Smith apple tree, sadly, it's last summer, as it has some sort of infection in the trunk, and it cannot be dealt with. There was even an idea of cutting it and using the rootstock as a way of, what's it called? I can't remember now. Branching onto a new tree, but that's not an option either. So what will happen in autumn, the chainsaw will come out and it will be one of two trees that will be removed. My plan is to grab some seeds from the apple, and I will cultivate those seeds, and so I'll actually replant healthy germinated apple. Right, tomatoes have been interesting. We've had a really mild summer here in Taranaki, and it's been wet, it's been a little bit yucky, but it has been mild, and so the tomatoes are just starting to come on, and as you can see, there's sort of an array of things built to hold them up, and so I'm using the old string method, which I used when I used to pick cucumbers for a living. Very exciting job. These are, as you can see, my little lettuces, some comfrey there, they're doing well. Oh, there's some spinach as well. They took ages to kick, and I must admit that I think there was a bit of some insects getting through, and those lovely insects really gave them a hard time, especially the spinach actually. And then I'm not sure you can see there, but there's eggshells, so crushed up eggshells. They went all around the plant, and lo and behold, no more slugs, so that worked really well. There is my kumara, or sweet potato, and so that's slowly but surely coming away, and that was germinated from putting a kumara into a jar with water, and which created roots, and then these little pups have come away, and what I do is just cut around the pup, put it back into water to rejuvenate or to germinate more roots off the pup, and then I plant. And so 2 of the 4 are looking good, the other 2 not so much, but I have got some other pups there, so those 2 there might, well, they will get swapped out. I've got seedlings in there. You can't see them, they've only been in there for a day or 2, so hopefully they'll come up. Right, and here we are around the rewilding. So massive increase in the bee population and insect population in general, actually. So and when I notice that, and as you can see, the washing's out, and do you know where I notice it most is when I get the washing in the afternoon, when I'm folding it, because you know that's what you've got to do, you can't just stuff it. There is heaps and heaps and heaps of little insects stuck to it, and so that's really good. Just a good example. As you can see, I sort of mowed the boundaries, and yeah, but you know, it's just good to see the insects. Things are starting to dry off a little bit, and the plan is to at the end of summer, of course, is just to, you know, come through with a weed eater at some point and get things done. So, I mean, not a lot of progress in regards to the garden. I had a decent break over the Christmas period. The chickens have done well. They have been inundated with bits of grass and that sort of thing as I work my way around. There is another garden going in the next day or so, which will go into this space here, sort of between the Waratah and that pathway. One consideration is actually getting rid of this garden here and putting something else there. I'm not sure what. Over there will be a nice little glass containment area where I can plant out. My big challenge this year has been topsoil, and so I'll spend the winter as I mow and collect stuff, and you know, put everything into the compost bin. That'll eventually you know, that'll produce, and then I can build up. The other thing is that I have been offered free compost, and so free soil, so I'll be accessing it as well. Here are my chickens, still laying 3 eggs a day. Quite happy. There's the water. There is actually water in that, and as you can see, I'm firing in the grass as I go, and they pick through it. And what I'll do is at some point I go in there and just basically just scrape the top off, and that'll go into the compost bin as well. So you know what tends to happen, we'll get a bit of rain and it'll become a little bit muddy. I tend to put wood chip and stuff in there as well. So there's an animal bedding wood chip, which I find that works really well. So that will go in there, and things will tickety boo. But apart from that, as you can see, it's still pretty wild. This plant here with the white flowers, it's incredibly invasive actually. Giant pain in the arse. And what I'm waiting for is I want to get and I'm working away on manifesting it. There's a big chunk of carpet, you know, like sort of the size of a room, and the idea is that I'll unroll that through there and just leave it there, and it'll basically just kill everything off. But we'll also be, you know, kind and loving to the insects and the worms and stuff underneath. Around the gardens, the garden beds are going in, which is good, and also the garden paths. So they're in a sort of a basic placement, and then what happens from here is that anything that's sitting proud will be lifted, and we'll flatten the ground and relay it, and then there'll be a sand render that'll go through. Well, not a render actually, it's just sand, and plan will be to plant things like calamine and anything that sort of runs around, or runs as a bit of a ground thing, clearance, or runs over the ground creeper. So anyway, these little pavers here that I've got more, and so they will go, probably run along the side. And I also managed to get some really cheap outside tiles, the 600 by 600. So then the plan is that when I run out of those pavers, I'll transfer over to the tiles. The other good news is I've got bricks coming, so I managed to get a really good deal on a whole lot of bricks. And the idea is that those bricks will have the path. It'll go from the house through to here, and then probably about there on the side of the house, I'll put an archway in, and yeah, just as sort of an entrance into the back garden. There are other plans. So the plan is to put you can sort of see a bit of a triangle there. That's where another garden will go in. In the space here, I'd actually stepped out a spiral, but it sort of just hasn't shaped up well enough. So I'll have another attempt at that at some point. Probably easier done when the grass is a little shorter and it can be mowed more effectively. The tree behind the clothesline, that will be attacked in autumn, just to cut back, mainly to provide better access under it. So there's a bit of a shade there, but also just because it's starting to get tangled up in the clothesline. And as much as I love it, I need a bit of practicality in the world, and so that's what will need to happen. Anyway, I thought I'd better jump on and have a quick update, as I hadn't been on for a while, and things have been happening slowly. Anyway, it's always nice to see flowers. And in there you can actually see there's some phylacteries they're there, and that phylacteries, it's grown. When I took it out, I got it in a pot, and when I took it out, it came out with that comfrey plant. As you can see, the yarrow was everywhere, which is always nice. The big centre of it. Anyway, much love, many blessings, and back into it. Might be time to take the boy for a walk. Anyway, go well, enjoy, and say goodbye to Ted. Till next time.